Does anyone else hate it when you get in the middle of nowhere and you realize something like that's not working anymore? What? No? Doesn't happen to you? Yeah, I should be checking that stuff more often. But between the cabinet and the bike, I got my work cut out for me. Luckily it's Wednesday. Well, welcome back to the ThePirateRagnar MotoVlog channel, everyone. I have some sniffles today. I'm positive it's allergies. I know because I took some antihistamine and it's getting better, but my nose is still running and it's annoying, so bear with me. So to catch everybody up, we got some work cut out for us. There's still some prep that I need to do on the cabinet. Parts have been ordered, so we'll get the water pump in, we'll get the nozzle. Basically everything has been ordered except the air compressor because I don't really want to buy one brand new because they're expensive and I'm cheap. So I'm playing with some options. I'm looking at maybe a couple of used ones that may not have the capacity or the CFMs that I really want for this project, but would work in the meantime, at least to get the ball rolling on things. So if I can find something like that, then I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. If not, then I'm just going to have to get the air compressor that I know I actually need to begin with. We'll see what happens. But with that out of the way, there's a little bit more prep to do on the cabinet itself. Most importantly, the silicone caulking needs to get done. Everything needs to be waterproof a little bit better than it is right now. And there's a couple of other issues. So as you can see, the gentleman that built this before put a nice big lip right there, and it's going to catch a lot of the slurry as it comes down. Then I have to figure something out for this back ledge as well, because as you can see, it's just going to hold water and then rust overnight, because that's what's going to happen. So again, I either need to drill drains here, or the other thing that I'm thinking anyway, is just to combat this in general, is to turn the squirrel cage fan around and make it so that we're putting the exhaust through here, so that after the cabinet is used on any given day, we can just run the fan for a little bit to dry everything out. I also removed the original light that the gentleman had installed because that's not waterproof at all. And the funny thing is it was completely filled with sand, which I should have expected, but was still pretty funny. Oh yeah, Secret. You just gotta be part of the attention as soon as stuff is happening over here. Okay, right, sure. So we're going to install this conduit lighting instead, which has a cover. I do need to get some clear material to cover this. And the insert for this is inside right now. I'm cleaning it. So yeah, it's quite a few things we just gotta sort out, and then I can get to the bike. Hello. Yep. Awesome. Thank you very much. Huzzah. Thank you, Bezos. Amazon got this to me in a day. I don't even need it already. Contraption. But a smaller attachment as well. So, cool, cool, cool. Like 8 mil maybe? Yeah. HelloFresh got delivered. No, this isn't a sponsor. I just couldn't be bothered to go to the grocery store. But I'll take this opportunity to just explain what's left to do on the cabinet. We have to drill out or cut out a little overlap at the bottom. As you can see, we either have to kind of cut it out the outside, or we're going to have to drill through it so that there's some drains. The slurry is going to get caught up on there. I don't know how bad it's actually going to be, because the slurry, while using it, should continue flushing it out. Like, it's not going to get so much built up there that there's no sand left in the reservoir. But at the end of each session, there's always going to be a bunch of stuff sitting there. So I really don't think it's that big of a deal, but it is something I want to resolve eventually. I don't have any little sawzall blades for metal. Well, I'm done making a fool of myself. For the time being on the cabinet, I need to work on my caulking. What I do need up here, though, to make any progress on the bike is a tool that I hate having to dig out, because it always means I'm fighting some kind of gremlins. And for some reason, I don't have the black cord. Alright, but I need my multimeter, and then we'll get back down to the bike. So a little background on the problem that we're working on right now. On the first ride that we took after we got to BC, I had not properly reattached the fog light. So it rattled loose and hung on the exhaust and burnt right through the wire. So that was an issue. The only other problem really is this is where the fog light was. The wire came back this way and then up this way and attached here. This is where I cut the wire kind of above where it was burnt, but it's actually, I can see it was burnt all the way up to here. So it clearly shorted out in addition to it melting. And that's the same circuit that I have this on. So clearly that's where things got interrupted, and I now need to take it all apart. And the other issue that I'm dealing with is when I complain about gremlins, this is the primary reason why. That's my wiring harness. Yeah. So we need to start pulling some of this stuff apart again and figuring out where the wiring has gone wrong. And then maybe when I put it all back together this time, I don't need to leave it in such a mess. Oh, no, I'm a dirty rotten liar. It's not even through that. So we followed it all the way back, blah, 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 blah. And that's when I remembered it has a built-in fuse. I'm just glad everyone already knows that they tune in on Wednesdays to see what mistakes I make, and not because I do things particularly well. Let's take a look real quick. And yep, the fuse is broken. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but the fuse is gone. So these are also the mini ones, so I have to see if I even have replacements for that. I found fuses. The wrong kind of fuses. Looks like we're going to Lordco. I can't find them anywhere. I know I have a bag of fuses sitting around. I'm positive. I just can't for my life find it. That's very typical of me. I won't find them until I go out and buy some more. Then I'll come home and they'll be sitting on the kitchen table. Somehow. Anyway. To give me an opportunity to grab some oil because by next week I definitely want to do an oil change. She's not due for an oil change, but might as well do it anyway. So let's go shopping. Well, that's what we'll call it for today. I want to make sure this video gets out today. This week has just been really crazy and I did not get nearly as much wrenching throughout the actual week as I wanted, so it literally kind of all had to happen today. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. I was hoping that the water pump at least would get delivered today. It's still scheduled to be delivered today, but we can't start messing around with the sand and the water mixture and making sure that that's being agitated, and really the fun part of the build, the problem solving part of the build, can't start until that's here. So that will be next week. Hopefully by then I will also have sorted out an air compressor. So I doubt we'll have a fully put together vapor blaster next week, but within the next couple of weeks we should have it up and running, and then we can start looking at a couple of examples of parts being cleaned and see how well my handyman skills turn out. So thank you everyone for tuning in. I'll see you on Sunday for another Sunday series. And this Saturday we should have day 2 of Arizona. Or it's not really day 2, I was there for about 5 days. But I did a bunch of hiking and a whole bunch of other stuff with my parents. So there's only 2 days where I was really riding around on the bike. But that will be on Saturday. So until then, ride safe and ride fun. And as always, I will see you guys on the next video.